and gentlemen, what the world has been waiting for, what the world needs now, the one, the only, amazing, original, Johnny Blaze. Often imitated, but never duplicated. There's Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the original Johnny Blaze Show. It's always great to be here, and I blaze right in with my karate kick. Let's have a blazy hot fun time. A wise man once told me the secret to a happy marriage is find a woman who's a good cook, a woman who's great in bed, and a woman with lots of money. Just make sure these three women never meet. It says in the good book that you should love thy neighbor, and just make sure your neighbor's husband is away on business before you start the loving. What do fat people in most marriages have in common? A lot of them just don't work out. A man sat next to me at the bar and told me his problems. He said, I've spent the last 5 years searching for my wife's killer. After all this time, I still can't find anyone who will take the job. I will now explain the theory of evolution. Before I got married, my wife was a fox. After our honeymoon, she turned into a shrew. By the time we got divorced, she had evolved into a raging elephant. An old man spoke to me just the other day. He said, after 50 years of marriage, I still call my wife sweetheart. That's wonderful, I replied. I have to, the old man said. I forgot her real name 20 years ago. The man sitting next to me at the bar stood up and made a toast. Here's to 20 years of marriage. I asked him, where did you spend your honeymoon? Paris, France, the man replied. And where are you going for your 20th anniversary? I asked. Back to Paris. I want to see if she's still waiting for me at the airport. Marriage teaches you loyalty, self-restraint, forgiveness, and a whole bunch of other things you wouldn't have needed if you just stayed single. We have a blazing hot fun show with a special guest. She is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, and recording artist. Please give a big warm welcome and say hello to the one and only NICOLE MARKSON.
Hello.
Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for hanging in there.
Oh,
You're looking lovely. Looking really nice there, Nicole.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, Nicole. Nicole, everybody has their own unique story. Please give me a rundown. Give me a rundown of the NICOLE MARKSON story. How did you get started in entertainment? Where are you from? And tell me everything about that.
Well, I grew up in New Jersey, 5 minutes over the George Washington Bridge from Manhattan. New York City was my playground as a young person. I always wanted to be a singer from a very young age. I wanted to perform. And so, you know, it started in high school. I was in all the shows. And then I went to NYU, to School of the Arts, to study to become a performer and an actress and a singer. And then my life took a left turn. I wound up going into my family business. And then I'm doing a quick version of this, right? And then, so I really didn't pursue my dream, really, the way that I had wanted to. I wound up going into my family business. And then several years later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And having breast cancer really was a turning point for me to really decide how I really, do a lot of soul searching about how I wanted to spend the rest of my life, right? After such a life-altering event, that was the turning point to be like, I really never pursued the music the way I wanted to, and I was going to go back, and I made a promise to myself while I was undergoing chemotherapy that once I got finished with this, I was going back to music. And that's what set me back, going back full throttle into music, really.
Well, so you apparently you received a recording contract apparently, but then you weren't able to do it originally.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, I was writing songs and I was recording, and that's when I was offered a recording contract when I was in my teens. But my parents, they really didn't know what to do with it, and so they just kind of let it go by the wayside. That's really what happened.
and then you get into your family, some type of other type of business. I don't know what type of business. What was your family business that you got
Right.
involved in?
So what happened is I was auditioning for shows and I was performing. I was doing, like club dates and weddings, and I did some off Broadway and things like that. And my stepfather said to me, instead of being a waitress or a bartender, why don't you come and work for me? And we were in the car business. So come, you'll sell some cars and you'll make some money and you can come and go to your auditions. So it seemed like a great offer, right?
Right.
So that's what I did. I wound up going and becoming this superstar salesperson first on the used car lot. I worked in used cars for like 3 years, was a training ground. And then I wound up going, he said, when you get serious, let me know. And then he sent me to what's called NADA, which is National Automobile Dealer Candidate Academy, which is for like high-level managers and sons and daughters of people in the car business, because these businesses are really family businesses. So I was like, okay, I'm good at this. So it's like getting your master's degree in car dealing. So I did that. I worked my way up the ranks in the car dealership. I'm like qualified to run a car dealership. I became the finance director, everything, and I enjoyed it. And what's funny about it is I made it entertainment. Like I wound up being on the radio for like many years, giving automotive advice in New York City on The Answer, on 970 The Answer, on a show called The Auto Lab, which is like the longest running automotive talk show. And so I would field all the questions about how to buy a car, what's the best way to buy a car, finance a car, all questions that had to do with that. And then I wound up being like an automotive expert. I was on CNBC, The Closing Bell. I was on Diane Sawyer, Nightline. Like entertainment, I kind of made it. It was always in there. And so I found a way to make entertainment out of it. But the part I loved the most about it was really helping people and helping women, really. And I actually wound up stepping out of my family business and starting my own company called Auto Empowerment to help women through their financial transactions. I help many men as well, but I was not supposed to be in the car business, right? I was supposed to be doing entertainment. So it was like a big left turn. And like I said, going through that life-altering event of breast cancer really made me rethink, what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I'm still a businesswoman, right? I have to pay for my passions, but that's kind of the evolution of how it went.
That's really something. Then, in other words, you felt like this is something you truly want with your whole body, mind, heart, and soul. You really wanted to be an entertainer, be a singer, songwriter, and a recording artist. And so you decided that's what you're going to do, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I really regretted it. It killed me inside. I felt like that was the one area that I didn't master. I still don't feel I've mastered it. It's a work in progress, but it was the one area of my life I really regretted, and I didn't want to regret it, and it was something I had to really work on, to forgive myself for not pursuing it. And so it was like all this, like I came out of surgery being like, what did I do with my life? That whole thing, because when you face your mortality and you realize that you may not have had a chance to do the thing that you really, really wanted to do, it's life altering. I mean, it's just, there's no other way to say it,
Well, I applaud you on that. You are a survivor, and it's very difficult. You have a lot of courage, and you realize you don't want any regrets, and so you want to go forward and do what you really feel you're meant to do and that you really love doing, and that's what you're doing. That's great. It's fantastic. Now, you had a song, Higher Than Heaven. That's apparently when you turned it around after going through chemotherapy and the breast cancer. You created that song. That's quite a song. I heard that. That's really something. That
was one of the first songs I wrote, like afterwards. It was funny because I said, I'm going to do this. And I made this appointment to go to this recording studio. I made it under the guise I'm going to have a voice lesson. So I go there and I start singing a song in the booth, and they're like, why are you here? You're not here for a voice lesson. You can sing. And I said, yeah, and so I started telling the guys my story, and we were all crying on the couch. And then I just started writing songs with them. And Higher Than Heaven was one of the first songs. It was really like a lot of songs came out after all those years, but that was the swan song, let's say, right? That
Right.
you could go higher than you ever think you can. That's the message of it, like that you can come back from anything and always go higher than you believe that you ever can, and take things, back that were lost. And it's like my little prayer, right? Because it opens up, make me strong, God, don't take me tonight. Make me live long, I'll put up the fight. That's how it
It
opens.
rhymes, it makes sense. There's so much feeling, there's so much passion. It's a beautiful song. You wrote it yourself. It's original, and I think that's wonderful. I salute
It was
you.
my first song to hit the Billboard charts.
It was, and you had quite a few streams on that. I saw.
Yeah.
Was
And
it
we have a lot of great people who've remixed the record, like a lot of great DJs. And a lot of people told me, you'll never be on the radio, you're too old to do this, blah, 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 all these naysaying things. And not only was it on the radio, it was my first Billboard, like I hit the Billboard charts with it. It went to number 39 out of 100. And it was really meant a lot to me that song went that far. And that song, it was so many years in the making before that even happened. I mean, it took so long. That song has evolved in so many ways.
Well, this is a beautiful catharsis for you. It's something that makes you feel, amongst other people, it gives you such a high, elevated feeling, higher than heaven. And you're not allowing anything to get in your way, and you're just going forward, and you're being successful regardless of any obstacles. So that's great. That's blazing hot. That really is, Nicole. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's so funny because the music is so important to me, but it really became a bigger mission for me. Like I realized that this didn't happen to me, it happened for me. And I realized that the message, my mission is really to empower and inspire people to go higher than they ever can, to reach their fullest potential. And that my mission really is through my story, my message, my music, to empower and inspire others to know that they should not live with regrets, that they should go for it, that they shouldn't wait, and just keep moving forward with whatever their dream is, and to really live their truest dreams.
I think that's wonderful. It really is. That's very important because a lot of people end up, having obstacles and they give up. They really do. So tell me about other venues that you had, the different places that you've performed, entertainment venues, and what stands out and what is your favorite? Tell me about some of those.
Well, I played in a lot of them, but it was fun playing the Bitter End. And then, but playing in Harlem was really fun. There's this like club bar in Harlem, and that was fun to sing on the bar. That was good. And I played, I played around. I mean, I down the Jersey Shore and Asbury Park, just a bunch of places like that. But really, like I love, being in Harlem because that's where music has such soul and such fire, and so many amazing performers, and the people that perform in this little place are like incredible. And sometimes the smallest places are the most intimate places, and you really get the crowd going, and everybody's involved with you, and you can literally touch everyone, and it's really fun.
Yes. How are you able to energize the crowd? Is there ever a time if you feel like a performance, people are bored? How are you able to handle that and turn that around?
You go right at them. You blaze right at them, Blaze.
You do.
No, you talk to them. I think it's important to talk to your audience. I mean, I've played in front of a lot of people, and I've played in front of 3 people, and I perform like I'm in Madison Square Garden. It's just you as the performer have to give it your all. You have to give meaning to your songs. You have to believe in your songs. You talk to people. I like to talk to the audience. I like to talk about what the song means. And I really love engaging with the audience. So I've really had great experiences. So luckily I haven't had too many bad experiences, but I really think that when you talk to the crowd and you sing songs that mean something to people, that that's what songs are. They're feelings that people can relate to. And so if you tell your stories behind them, people get engaged.
So you probably believe in audience participation.
I love art. Oh my God. I love audience participation. I love getting the crowd singing with me. I do this one song where we do it for like 40 minutes. I'm not even kidding. And I have the crowd repeating, back to me. And I even come off the stage. I get in the middle of the room, and I have I pull people out of the crowd. I love getting it crazy. I like to make it crazy.
Well, you know what? You have the talent and you have the charisma and the chutzpah. I can tell by talking to you and by hearing your music, of course. And it's just not something that's forced. It's something it's within you, and it's either there or it isn't. And you have it. You have the talent, Nicole.
Thank you.
You have the love. You have the passion. You have the talent and the creativity. You write your own songs, I take it. You ever do any? I think you specialize in mainly original songs or cover songs, or you do both, or what is?
So I have a zillion videos on YouTube of me doing cover songs, but, I write a lot of original songs, and what's been great is the evolution. Songwriting is really wonderful when you're collaborating with other very talented songwriters. And so, several years ago, I made a decision that I was going to go to Nashville and I was going to get better at my songwriting craft. I took songwriting lessons in New York too, but I said, I'm going to Nashville. I'm going to go to where it's at. I went to the National Songwriters Association, and I'm like, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to meet other songwriters. It's hard to get into like the writing rooms, they call them, like with the real, the legends of Nashville. But I went to Nashville, and I kind of worked my way through for a couple of years, and I wound up working with my producer now, Dave Audet, who was actually one of the remixers on Higher Than Heaven, and I tracked him down in Nashville, and I just kept writing him and saying, I want to meet you, I want to meet you, I want to meet you, and okay, when you're in Nashville, well, I'm in Nashville, I'm here, I want to meet you, and so I just kept writing him, and I was like, I'm here, I want to meet you. And he said, all right, finally, come over. I was not leaving Nashville till I met him. And I went to him and really had a heart-to-heart talk with him. It was so nice that he took the time to speak to me. He's a Grammy Award-winning producer. He has like 150 number one hits.
His name is Dave Alt? Is that his name?
Dave Audet.
Oh, Dave Audet. Okay.
Yeah. And he said, who are you writing with? And I said, no one. And he said, why? And I said, because how can I can't get, they don't know you, they won't take you. He said, well, would you like to work? I think I can help you. And I said, great. And he said, we're going to collaborate. You need to collaborate because the songs are so much better when you really write with people that this is what they do. You know what I mean? And there is a difference. So I've been lucky enough for the last couple of years to be collaborating with some of the most amazing songwriters in Nashville, and now really with like the legends of Nashville. Like I'm really writing with some great writers now, like Beth Nielsen Chapman. She's like a legend in Nashville.
Really?
Greg Barnhill. Like it's taken a couple of, this has taken several years just in Nashville alone, but the songs are so much better and getting better and better. When you can collaborate with people, it's always better to do that.
Well, you have more in common than just a common cold. You're able to collaborate, work together with another artist who feels, I guess, similar to you, and you put your heads together. Two heads are better than one.
Songwriting is really serious business. People don't really understand what goes into songwriting. And
yes, that's what I want to ask you. What does go into songwriting? How do you write the lyrics and the melody, and how do you put it all together and make a hit song?
Well, that's hard, but we're always striving. You know what? It's really, you're not going in there going, how do I make a hit song? You don't do that. You go in. What makes a good writing session is, a lot of times having a concept, thinking about it. Sometimes I'll be sleeping and they'll come to me. I'll get a concept or I'll get a line and I'll have to get up and I'll have to write it. And I like to come to the writing room with sort of some ideas and some concepts, and you sit with other people and you just talk. It becomes talking. And sometimes I'll already have an idea or a line, and I'll bring it in, and it'll come about. And Dave will go to the piano, and he'll start, playing something, and somebody else will say, oh yeah, okay, great, and we just sort of just let it. It's very organic, and it takes, sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes it happens quickly, but it's definitely it's a process, and so you write it, and you could write the lyrics in a day, but it sometimes it takes a little more time than that, and then of course there's the recording of it, and then the recording of it, and then the recording of it, and the recording. Like, you're always, you don't just record it once. You record it, you listen to it, you sit with it, you come back to it, you have other ideas, because you have to get inside a song, you have to learn the song. Like for me, I always have to take it and internalize it and work on it and practice it, and then I go back again and I re-sing it and we listen. It's very, that's why they call it recording artist, because it's really art. And a lot of people just hear like a record and they think, oh, a record, but they don't understand all the work that's behind the record.
Right. They just hear what the end result is. They don't realize what it takes to do it.
Exactly.
And obviously, it takes quite a bit.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of patience and a lot of talent and collaborating and working with, I guess, with songwriting teams, other people.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any writer's block at all? Or does everything always go smoothly pretty much?
It's not like block. It's just like, it's like searching for the right word or the right rhyme or the right sound, or no, we don't like that. It's not, I don't know. I've never had block. I've had where it's taken long, or we've painstaken, like we were writing a song for my daughter and it was really it was long. It was like, and the people that I was working with are like serious Nashville song, like really serious. And so they were like, no, we don't like that. No. It was just like a long session to get it, but it's beautiful. Can't wait for you to hear it.
It's worth it, is what you're saying. It takes a while sometimes, but it's worth, the end result is worth all the sacrifice.
Definitely. The process is so beautiful. I mean, it's the best. It's the best feeling ever. It's just, time flies, you're in your zone, it's just, your soul is like singing, literally. Music is such an interesting thing, the way that it evolves, the way that it comes out, the way that it just shapes, it comes into its own almost,
Well, it makes people escape, a world of a lot of negative things. The music makes people escape into a better world, a happy world, and you can experience quite a wave of happiness when you get into it.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
It is. You have a number one recently on the UK list. There's a song. What about elevating love?
Elevating love.
That's a song I hear that you're excited about, and I commend you and I salute you for it, because it's number one on the UK music charts.
Yep, the Music Week Commercial Club Pop Chart. I mean, wow, this is recent. This is like last week. This is like, it just happened. So, I mean, I really was hoping for a top 10. I was just like, oh, if I get into the top 10, I'm going to be happy. The fact that we got a number one is mind-boggling. I was in the gym and I'm working out and I get this, this email and I'm like, is it real? Is this true? I had to call Dave. I'm like, Dave, is this true? He's like, yes, it's true. I'm like, oh my God. I was so excited. I like screamed in the gym.
What a happy surprise that is, when you didn't expect it and all of a sudden it happens.
What's really amazing is that what I feel so honored about is the other people that were on the chart. I mean, I'm an independent artist. People don't realize that an independent artist is the cook and the bottle washer and everything. Like, I'm funding my own journey here. I don't have a label backing me.
You don't. You're independent, huh? Okay.
I'm independent. So when you're on a chart with Ed Sheeran and Ella Henderson and all these people that are huge, I'm just like, whoa. I can't believe this.
That's special. That song, you can listen to that over and over again. It's so catchy. The background, elevating love, and it makes you feel like it's just like you're exploding with happiness and love. It really is something.
It's a dance record, it's a dance record, and like you asked about the process, like we were just like, so what do we want to do today? And it's like, let's write something really fun and dance, and like Donna Summer's "I Feel Love." Do you remember Donna Summer's "I Feel Love"?
That's what I was going to ask you. So who are some of your people you look up to in the business that really motivate and inspire you? Some of the Donna Summer, is that one of them? Is probably
yeah. So of course, it's like I call them the one namers, right? Like they don't need any introductions. Right. Like Barbara and Aretha and Whitney and Madonna and Celine and Cher and Hart and Blondie. Like these women, these are iconic, women, the soul singers, and Chaka Khan, and just like.
What is her? Okay, so you like them all. What is there about? Is there any favorite, and what is there about all these top successful artists that really inspire and motivate you? What is there about it that you really like?
They're such powerhouse singers. Like Aretha Franklin is just like unbelievable. Celine, they're just powerhouse and emotion and feeling and deep, and you have to, respect that. Whitney Houston, these women are just, almost godlike. They're just so special, and you just aspire to give the honor to the songs the way that they give the honor to the songs.
So you really feel that helps inspire and motivate you in your work.
Oh my God. I sang, as a child, I was doing Barbra Streisand songs in the mirror, and, dancing to Donna Summer, and Elevating Love is like Donna Summer meets Madonna. It's like, that's what that song is.
Wow.
But it's, I've been to every concert Madonna's ever done, and I've seen Celine, I've seen Barbara. I didn't see the others in person, but it's just, it's epic. It's epic. It's epic. These women are epic.
Unforgettable. They're really, all of them. Oh yeah, there was recently a movie called Respect, played by Jennifer Hudson.
Oh my God, she's incredible too.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
It was great. It
takes a certain kind of person to try to imitate these people, because they were legends in their own time.
She's an incredible singer, Jennifer.
Barbra Streisand is still around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's a typical day on as far as singing and songwriting? You also have a band too, I understand. And what's a typical day when you get into the recording studio, when you perform? And also tell me about some of the venues that you found most exciting.
Well,
your happy memories of.
Yeah, so I was telling you about the Bitter End. I was telling you about Harlem, in Harlem, all these fun places. But what is it like? What is it like when you want to come to the songwriting room, you want to come with the concept, you want to, come with something, and you just get into it, like I was describing before. In terms of rehearsals, with a band, I work with choreographers all the time. To really bring life to the songs, there's all kinds of things as an artist that you have to do to really be a craftsman. It's not just, you don't just get up there, you could, but I'm very into preparation. So I love to rehearse. I'm like a rehearsaholic. So when I get in with the band, it's really a dissection of every song. It's truly working out all the parts of the band, what everybody's going to do, how, we're bringing live elements with computerized elements. It's really a true collaboration. Then we have background, singers that we integrate in. And so it's a lot of effort to put a show together, right? 30 minutes on stage is like a lifetime on stage. 45 minutes is like, oh my God. And, it's like, it's all these pieces have to come together to make something.
So it sounds like everything's got to go smoothly.
Make something special. But it doesn't always go smoothly. I mean, and you go with it. Like it happened to me in one of the shows. We were ready to go. We're queued up. We put the computer on. Or I have these big openings, that I do. And it's like, oh, it didn't go on. And there I am. I'm standing there, I'm ready to go. And I couldn't get the sound. And so, you have to be an improviser. So I start talking to everybody, and we're going to do it again, everybody, rewind. So how's everybody doing tonight? How was work? Did everybody, whatever it is,
what you're saying, you work around it. You act like it didn't happen, make light of it, and just move right on like nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, and people appreciate the truth, Okay, well, I guess that didn't work. It's human, and audiences like humanity. It's if you yourself, I'm sure you've seen a singer fall down and then they get back up and everybody cheers and
oh yeah,
it's not perfect. It's live.
That's true. If you fall down, you just get yourself right back up again, or just act like nothing happened. If you forget something, then you act like it didn't happen. You just go over it and act like it's no big thing. You don't accentuate your weakness. You try to decentuate it. What's going wrong, and try to correct it in such a manner that people are not even aware. That you don't make such a big fuss out of something that doesn't go right.
And that is so true. I mean, half the time they don't really know, and you just keep going.
That's right. So it sounds like to me, you've had your adversity, but you haven't. Some people in the business, they have to deal with a lot of disappointment and rejection along the way. Have you ever had to deal with any of that? And if you did, how were you able to handle it?
Of course, every day I'm rejected.
You're thrown out every day, huh?
Don't I look rejected to you? No.
You look happy. You look peaceful.
You know what it is? It's like, don't do this business if you're not going to understand that you're going to be rejected. I don't mean to be harsh, but
right.
You know what? It's part of it. There's more no than yes.
That's correct.
And the thing is, that's the way it is. Like, so what I like to do is create my own environment. Like, I'm going to create my own show. I'm going to create my own venue if I have to. I'm going to create my own ecosystem if I have to. I'm not, I'm independent. Like I said, I'm an independent artist. It's not, no one's going to come and say, hi, Nicole, do you want to walk onto this stage today? It's not happening. It's reality. This is that kind of business. And
you're doing it yourself. You're not dependent upon other people. You're totally independent.
You can't. It's you want to work with the best team that you can assemble, like and that's up to you as well. I didn't just come out of I hate to say it, I wasn't born going to Nashville. I mean, you got to get on the bus, you got to get on the train, you got to get on the plane, you got to go where you want to go. You have to go where it is, and you have to make your way. And that's what I tell people all the time. If there's something that you want to do, find out who's doing it and make your way to them. Go to the top, get there as fast as you can, and do what you're passionate about. Go for it, and the rest of the things will happen. I mean, it took years. I mean, this is probably the 11th year that I'm doing this, and I mean, I just got this number one, right? This took,
wow.
It takes, and I'm still not done. So it's enjoy what you're doing along the way, make the best thing that you can make, do the best that you can, study, work on your craft, take your voice lessons, take your dance lessons, work with a choreographer, like all the things that make you a professional. That's what you need to do. So if something doesn't pan out, it's not always going to pan out. Like,
well, those are your words of wisdom and giving advice to young people who are aspiring to be singers and songwriters and be successful.
And look how late I started. I mean, I started late. This business is not a late business. This business is more to the 20-year-olds, right?
Right.
So it's you have to do it because you believe in your vision. It's your vision. Someone else doesn't see it. Why? Because it's yours. And no one sees it till they see it, until you make it what it is. So you just, yes, of course I've had I felt bad. Yes, of course I've had a down day. Yes, of course I've questioned, is this worth it? I mean, I've put, time, money, resources, a lot into this. And this is a nothing business till it's a something business, right?
Right.
So you have to dig down and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's it.
You're putting your mind, body, heart, and soul into what you're doing. You're truly loving it, and you're not worrying about what other people think. You're just doing what you feel is the most important. And I'm sure you've had some great testimonials too from people.
They have.
And if they don't like it, well, there's something wrong with them.
Not that. I mean, look, I'm not for everybody. I mean, not all music is for everybody, right?
That's true.
You create something that's from your heart, from your soul, and that you hope touches people, and that you're creating something it's coming from a being, So some people are going to identify with it. Some people are not going to identify with it. And that's why there's so much music out there. I mean, there's so many things, I mean, nobody's for everybody, right?
That's true. Some of the greatest artists had people that hated them, but it doesn't matter. There's more people who loved them than hated them.
Yeah, you just have to do what's truly coming from you. That's what I think.
Right. So basically, you use other people to motivate and inspire you, but when it comes down to it, it's the helping hand you're looking for is the end of your own arm, and your own, you're the person that's doing it. Nobody can force and make anybody do anything they don't want to do. They have to want to do it. This is not something that you're just, you hate to, you're forcing yourself. You're loving it, and you're doing it. You're doing whatever it takes. You're sacrificing to get where you want to go in this.
I love it. It's like, I've even had people say to me, so what is it that you're hoping to get out of this? So what, and now what? And, people say these things to me, and I'm just like, what do you mean? I'm in it. Like, this is the road. Like, the amazing part is creating it. And everything that happens after is gravy. It's, if I didn't do this, I would be mad at myself. Like, I was mad at myself. Like, it tortured me for years that I didn't do it. And so, I don't want to look back, when I'm 90, sitting in my rocking chair and going, right, why didn't I do it?
That's true. You don't want any regrets.
No regrets. No, I regretted a lot with this, and that's why I'm on this journey. Like, I've discovered so many things. Like I said, I've even discovered that it's just so much bigger than I thought it was, because I know that I'm here to share a story and a message through the music, through what happened to me, to encourage people and inspire people to live their dream. That's really what I think I'm here for.
That's your message. That's Nicole's message of hope.
It is.
And living the dream, not just talking about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. And you are.
That's it.
You definitely are. Oh yeah. Now, Nicole, your publicist told me that there is a song that you said that that you would like to do. You'd like to do a cappella.
Really?
I told her you could have, if you wanted to have a band or you wanted to have a guitar or some music.
Me right here.
But she told me there was, let's see, and in fact, I'm not counting you in. I'm not counting you out. I'm counting you in, and that's what the song is. Don't count me out.
Don't count me out. Yeah. And
that's a great song too. So that's, if you want to share that with our audience, feel free to go ahead and do that.
I'll just give you a little ditty of it. But Don't Count Me Out is special because every Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is in October, and I am a breast cancer survivor, so I like to write a special song every year for breast cancer. And that was this year's song.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so we have a beautiful video that I made as well. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but if your listeners haven't seen it, please check it out. And yes, it's a don't count me out, is to not be underestimated. Don't underestimate yourself. Give yourself a chance, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something.
Okay.
So it's, I thought that it was over, but I've only just begun. You call it a slow burn, but I'm coming now. For years I kept on hiding, afraid to make the move. I suffered in my silence with so much to prove. Done with playing small, listening to you. Can you hear me now? Don't count me out. Can't hold me down. You won't forget me when I'm not around. 'Cause I'm ready, set myself free. It's not over for me. So don't count me out. Oh, don't count me out. Yeah, yeah. That's the first part.
Beautiful. I'm not counting you out, I'm counting you in. That's beautiful.
That's just a little bit of the song, but you can
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for
hear
sharing
it everywhere. Yeah, you can hear it in wherever music is sold, or on YouTube for free, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
tell me now, as far as your music videos now, can you tell me what goes into making a great music video? Tell me how many you've done, what stands out, and what goes into making it, and what is there about it you truly love?
I think I've done like 60 of them or something. I don't know. That's what it says. On my YouTube, I've done a lot of music videos. It's amazing how much I've learned by doing all these music videos. It's very creative. It's I've learned a lot, and I always with a song I have to think about, I think about the song, what I'm trying to say, and something just comes to me a lot of times, a concept again, and there's a lot of planning, like you really plan for these music videos and who's going to shoot them and how it's going to look, how many scenes it's going to be, who's going to be in it. And I love making them. I mean, they're like films, really. And so, some of them are more story-like, and some of them are just, you just sit in a chair and sing. But I've been accused of, Nicole, just be simpler, you don't need to get into all this stuff. And I don't know, I find that I like to get into a lot of stuff. So I like the process. I've directed myself many times. I have teams that help me, direct me as well. Elevating Love, we had a really great director on that. He really, really took control of that one. And it came out like, wow, way better than we ever thought that it would. Don't Count Me Out was very deep and personal. I did that here. I moved to Florida. I forgot to tell you that. I'm from Jersey, but I made the move to Florida during the pandemic. So I'm now in Miami, and I found an amazing studio here where we made this amazing video.
Well, you're in Miami? No, I thought you were in New York. Well, you're in Miami.
Yeah, I moved from there to here.
Oh, okay.
During the pandemic. And so I've worked with my share of people, and sometimes it's like very off the cuff. Like I did a Christmas song one time, and we did part of it in the studio, and then there was this location that was nearby that had like all these Christmas lights, and it was like the set of a Hallmark card. Wow. And we went in the middle of the night. We just went there, and we call it running and gunning. That's what you call it. And we just like went on the premises and started shooting. It was like we had this big set. It looked like it was millions of dollars, and we just kind of ran through it. We put the speaker on, and I just ran through singing the song in front of all these, beautiful sets. And we like got away with it. It was incredible. So different things go into different, music videos. Some of them take, they all take a lot of planning, but the editing is where it really happens. And editing is forever. I mean, it just takes hours and hours and hours. And I have such respect for the editors, but I like to sit in the editing room and I've really watched every single frame. I mean, I'm just one of those kind of artists that does that. So I've learned a lot about editing. I've learned a lot about film. I've learned a lot about camera angles and you know, this kind of thing. Again, when you're independent, you have to do a lot of things and wear a lot of hats. So I feel blessed because I feel like I could direct music videos now.
Well, it sounds like, remember the late great Helen Reddy said, "I am woman." You sound like you're definitely in that shoe right there.
Come on now.
That's right. Remember that song. There you go.
Yeah. I feel that way.
That's really great.
I feel that way.
That's great. So what would you say your favorite on as far as your music? Do you like country, rock, pop, jazz, folk? I don't know. What is your? You like them all, or you like certain ones? Yeah.
I do like a lot of things. I like them all, but like I grew up going to a lot of clubs. You know, I grew up going to a lot of dance clubs. Like, so I love dance music. You know, I do a lot of dance records, but my other songs are very pop inspiration. You know, what we write is very pop inspirational kind of stuff. But so I have like two lanes that I do. But I mean, personally, music-wise, I love ballads. I do like jazz. I like country, but I love dance. I mean, I really love dance music. I do.
Well, you're a Nicole of all trades. You're very talented and versatile, and you're not limited. You're unlimited, is what you are. Remember that song? Remember Jefferson's Starship said, "Nothing's going to stop us now." So nothing's going to stop Nicole Markson. That's for sure. You have and had or continue to have such a very fascinating, exciting, wonderful, and inspiring life. That's for sure, Nicole Markson.
So thanks. I hope that's true. I mean, I want to bring inspiration to people.
That's what you're doing. It sounds like that's what you're doing. You're bringing so much power and passion and soul and feeling, and it sounds like you're inspiring and helping other people who might feel like they need to step up. They really do.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, if you had to do anything over again, Nicole, would you do anything differently in your career and your life?
Yes. I would do it sooner.
What would you do?
I wouldn't do what I did. I really, if I could do it again, I would really have followed my dream all the way through from the start. And I would not wait, and I would do it. I would stick with it. I feel like, you know, what I did was I kind of sold out early in my life with that part of it. And so I wouldn't do that again. But you know, it's funny because everybody says, well, you know, maybe you had to go through all those things to get to where you are now and you're in the perfect place. You know, people say all kinds of things like that. But if you ask me if I had to do it over again, then I would completely go all in and pursue this 100% earlier.
I see. Okay. No, that's honest. It's coming from the heart. Do you have any present projects right now? Any present projects that you're really working on that's important to you, Nicole?
Yeah, well, I mean, I do. I have, you know, lots of things that are in the can, we say in the can right now that are going to be coming out for the new year. And I'm also in the middle of writing a book. And so I'm really excited to bring all this inspiration into a book as well. And so music and the book together. We have a lot of songs coming out, more singles, and I'm probably going to have an EP in the spring.
Oh, great. Extended play. What kind of book are you writing?
I'm writing a book about recreating, re-envisioning, and revamping yourself after life-altering circumstances. Sort of my story with lessons and how to take steps to really pursue your passions.
Great. Do you ever do any speaking in front of groups at all?
That's what I want to do. I do, and I want to do more of it.
Well, you do. Okay. You're gonna bring out some more songs too. It sounds like.
Yeah, and I want to sing while I do it. I want to sing and speak.
Beautiful. Okay.
I want to do like keynote concert kind of stuff.
Well, That takes us to the next thing. Is there any dream projects that you haven't done yet that you really would like to do all your heart and soul?
Yeah, I want to sing on Madison Square Garden stage.
You do?
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden, that's quite a place. That's where my favorite performer, Elvis, that's where he sang.
Ooh, yes.
Thank you very much. A great, awesome audience. He was something, the king. Oh, yeah.
The king.
Yeah. When they asked him in an interview, Madison Square Garden asked him about social comments, about the Vietnam protesters. He said, honey, I don't get into those kind of things. I'm strictly an entertainer. I don't get involved in those kind of issues.
Dolly Parton's like that. She
I
says
agree
the
with
same
that.
thing. That's what she says.
Dolly Parton said the same thing, huh?
She says the same thing.
How about that? Yeah, I try to stay away from religion and political. I try to keep everything up and happy. I don't want any controversial things,
Definitely. Yeah, no, I do. I have big aspirations like that. Yeah. It was funny. I sang the national anthem in Brooklyn for the Brooklyn Cyclones.
You did.
In the arena. And that was as close to that kind of feeling that I think that it would be like. And I was like, wow, this is what it's really probably like. And it was incredible. I mean, that was like, after I did that, I was like, okay, I could die now, but not really, but like, it was a very epic event in my life. It was big and such an honor to sing the national anthem, especially in an iconic place like Coney Island,
Wow, that sounds like fun. So Madison Square Garden, you could see yourself with your band performing, having a complete concert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would even be an opener. I'll take it.
You'd be the opener, right? You want to open for someone else.
I'll do it.
And be the headliner. Huh?
I could do both, but if somebody wants me to open, then I'm happy to do it.
Wow, that's something to aspire to. What about a documentary about you?
Yeah, actually, we're talking about making one. Actually, like a small one. Like we're talking about doing sort of, yes, like a little film kind of thing about it. Yeah, we're thinking about that too.
Something that can gear towards helping people. Let's say people that went through similar, to what you went through. As a breast cancer survivor, and what they went through, and how you're able to survive anyway and become successful and not let anything get in your way. How you're able to overcome adversity, and how you can reach out and help people like that.
Yes, that is my mission and goal, to bring that to audiences. Yeah,
I like that. That's a noble goal. That's a very good goal to have in mind. Very unselfish, reaching out and helping others.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what music is that kind of thing. It just touches people in ways that it's I call it magic. It's like magical. Well,
it's Nicole's magic, and it's true. It is magical. Music takes you onto a whole different level. It makes you escape. Although, we're in the world of so much negative that are going on. Things are violence and bad things. When you hear music, you're in a different world.
Yeah, it's a different state of mind.
It keeps you going, and it keeps you motivated, and it keeps you inspired. So that's important. So
yeah.
You keep on blazing the right track and trail, Nicole. So keep doing what you're doing, which is the right way.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
Welcome. Nicole, now, if anybody wants to find out more about you, tell me about the links and different places that people can find out. If they want to find out more about Nicole Markson.
So, of course, there's my website, which is NicoleMarkson.com. And I'm on every social media channel you can think of. So on Instagram, I'm at Nicole Markson Music. And I'm on Facebook, Nicole Markson. I'm on Twitter, Nicole Markson. I'm on YouTube, Nicole Markson.
You have a YouTube channel, that's right. You're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're all over the place.
I'm all over the place.
How can they miss you?
I don't know. I'm trying to break through.
You're doing it. And you know what? Your name is Nicole Markson. You're definitely making the mark in this business, in the music business.
I like that. Thank you.
Well, it's true. You are. Just keep on doing it.
Your show. You have to come to my show.
Oh, I'd love to see that. That'd be something.
Yeah.
That would be something. Yeah. Wow. Well, keep on making that mark. Keep writing those songs.
I am. I
Taking the
will.
hits, keep aspiring to bigger and better things. And one day you will have that concert in Madison Square Garden, and you'll have the documentary. Maybe you'll even have a feature film. Even you never know. There's
I
no
like
only
that. I like
you're
that.
not limited to what you can do. You can do anything that you put your mind to, Nicole.
Absolutely. And we said it here first, didn't we? Madison Square Garden, you and me.
Wow. That would be something. Another place is Ricky Nelson did that in the garden party. He sang in Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
That's a big goal.
If you can't please everybody, please yourself, of course. You do your best, of course, to please people. Try your best to try to make people happy and big smiles to their face and entertainment. And love it. Love what you're doing. And that's what you're doing. You're spreading love. That's what the world needs. It needs more love and peace.
We
And
need
you're
to
bringing that.
elevate love. That's where that came from. Elevating love.
That's what you're doing. I truly agree.
More
And I'm glad,
more
Nicole,
hugging.
I'm really happy that I'm glad that I had you on as a guest. I really do. It's so motivating. It's so inspirational. It's so positive, and it's so beautiful. It really is.
I'm so honored to be here with you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.
Really
Your
appreciate
smile
it.
and your warmth and your chutzpah and your charisma. So you're doing. Just keep going. Anyway, in closing, I want to say thank you, Nicole, for being such a beautiful, wonderful guest, Nicole Markson. Again.
Thank you.
And for all my fans and friends, always keep a smile on your face and a song in your heart. Until next time, happy trails and blaze out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be a guest on an entertainment talk show, please send us an email at amazingorijgbshow@gmail.com. And remember, all of our guests receive a complimentary DVD of their appearance on the show. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every episode gets at least 2,000 to 3,000 views per episode. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, original Johnny Blaze has just left the building. Good night, and God bless. Mwah. Thank you again.